Okay, so LEM tutorial time. It's going to be intervehicular transfer into lunar module. So you're going to get your MFD out, press select, go to Project Apollo, select ECS, then CRW, and the number 2. And now you can press F3 and click on Eagle and apply, or whatever the name of your LEM is for that mission. Now we are going to open the LEM overhead hatch, like so. Press ECS again, crew, and type the number 1. Now we won't need that for a while, so we'll close that, and we'll just keep open the checklist MFD. Now we're going to come over to the front panel, take the floodlight switch to all, the floodlights turn on when you open the door automatically, but when we close it, we want them to remain on. Now, under circuit breaker lighting, we'll get, it's on this side, the utility lights on. And then we'll get our dimmer, or our utility lights on dim. We can open the descent water, open the descent O2, open cabin repress into the auto position, and close the cabin repress circuit breaker. Now we can transfer to lunar module power. So simply press F3, and now you can just select the previous button. It is a good idea, while you're here, to go back to the Project Apollo MFD and just turn on the CSM02 hose. Now you're going to time skip to the designated LEM power transfer time. So we will go ahead and do that. Okay, we're at our LEM transfer now, so we will take LEM power to reset, and it spring loads to off, and we'll open up the LEM power circuit breakers. And now for preparation for some other procedures in the future, we will call in verb 64, enter. Make sure that we've got our lock on the high gain antenna, which we do. And we'll dial that in, -30. And about +270 is, and we'll take it just a little underneath that. There we go. That's about right there. Proceed. And now we'll load the CSM DAP for our procedures here. So 21112 and 11111. Proceed, proceed, proceed. Verb 46. Now we'll ensure that quad Bravo 3 and Charlie 4 are turned off. And now we will switch back to the lunar module, so you can press F3, press previous, and then close that window. Once we've got power, take the trans-lunar bus tie, X-lunar bus tie on both sides. Turn the circuit breakers on. And now you can begin your EPS activation at the designated time. So we will time skip forward a few moments and begin EPS activation. So here we'll take the annunciators to bright, the integral lighting to bright, everything to bright. Circuit breaker, instrument signal conditioner 1. And now we'll take descent ECA control And we'll pop over to the other side. Signal sensor, postcode modulator and telemetry, and signal conditioner 2. Under EPS, we need the display so we can get our talkbacks, and we need the decent ECA control so we can control the ties with the batteries, or of the batteries with these switches here. S-band and intercom system go to transmit and receive. Environmental control system, we need display for that too. And let's get comms going. So we'll get system engineer audio, primary S-band circuit breakers in, S-band antenna in, pre-modulation processor in, and now we'll get our S-band set up. So transceiver to primary, power amplifier to primary, we'll go voice, PCM, and then this will remain off reset. Make sure off and bitrate low. Now, after 90 seconds, this meter will come up, and at that point, we'll do comms check with Houston. So here, while we're waiting on that, let's get circuit breaker, EPS, cross tie balance loads open, and now we will select high voltage taps. So, under the high voltage segment, off reset, then on. Off reset, then on. Off reset, then on. Off reset, then on. Cross tie balance load circuit breaker, close. Now we can hop over to the other side, and we need our AC bus inverter ties closed. AC bus volt closed. Inverter 1 closed, and the other side, inverter 2 closed. Move this knob to AC bus, and we check out. Inverter 1 is good, and inverter 2 is also good. Now we can go back and open inverter 1 after verifying that both of them are good. At this point, it should be about the time we get comms lock. Nope, we still do not have comms lock, so we'll wait on that. Circuit breaker, AC bus B. So we'll do the mission timer while we're waiting. So circuit breaker, AC bus B. We need numerical lighting. And the flight displays mission timer circuit breaker. Now we'll come down here. We may need to move our checklist up just a little bit. We'll reset the mission timer, and we'll set it. So 96 hours, so 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 34 minutes, roughly. 10, 20, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4. And right when it hits that 34-minute mark, start. And we've got our mission timer up. Now we need to check again. Do we have comms lock? We don't just yet. So glycol pump 1 will verify the meter here. So we'll do glycol pump activation. Pump 1. And these meet pre-press conditions, and back to pump 2. Make sure it's pre-press conditions. Good. Circuit breaker, ECS, on the left side. Auto transfer close. Glycol pump 1 close. Auto transfer open. Now we'll come back. We will select glycol pump 1. And we can hear the spin up. Close circuit breaker glycol pump 2, and close auto transfer. Now we will do our caution and warning checkout, so I apologize ahead of time for the loud noise. I also just realized we're not going to get any signal strength because we don't have the VHF set up. But we should be able to do voice check, yep, on the S-band at this point in time. So we'll get our master alarm closed. And we can see we cannot silence that yet because we still need to close CWE. CWE is caution, warning, electronics, and annunciators. Now you would be able to turn the master alarm off. We'll also need our annunciators, docking, and component lights. And we'll need, under heaters, we'll need the display circuit breaker. And stabilization control, we'll need the engine control, and that's going to be on the left side. Now we'll take the RCS heaters into auto mode. And we'll just have a click through our temperatures and make sure they're all within the white band. It will specify which part of the white band you need to look for, but just for the time being, just make sure it's in the white. And all that is good. Back to landing. Now, we do our test. So here, we do the alarm tone test. That's good. Take it to CW1. Push master alarm. Now we check on CW1. Is the bank 1 lights on? All of them are on. Good. Now we'll go the engine push buttons and CW2. So we get, yep, engine push button is glowing, and bank 2 lights are on. Now we'll go bank 3. Bank 3 lights are on, and bank 4. Bank 4 lights are on. All are good. Now we'll check our component lights. We can see here we have 1 lunar contact bulb, which is burnt out, and we have 1 lunar contact bulb, which is good. So we are good there. Take it back to off, and that will complete that test. At this point in time, we need to get the boiler set up for cooling operations, or we're going to have lots of problems. So primary evaporator, number 1, open it. And now we will begin circuit breaker activation. So this is going to be a lot, so just follow through. Helium PQGS, that's propellant gauge, or propellant quantity gauging system. S-band, ordeal. Then the next one will be system engineer FDI. Bus ties are already closed. AC bus volts is closed. Good. Next is tape recorder. DECA gimbal, descent engine control actuator gimbal. And integral lighting. We can see we get nice lighting now. Next row, the shutoff valve, skip TCA breakers, and do the rest. So isol, ascent feed, ascent feed. Now close thrust, the CDR cross pointer, GASTA, CDR FTAI, COAS, ordeal. Under AC bus A, we need GASTA and CDR FTAI. Under propellants, close the only circuit breaker there is. Heaters, rendezvous radar, operate. Now under stabilization control, close ATCA pings. Engine start override. And now explosive devices, logic power A. And come to the next row. Under the heaters, here all 4 closed. And ECS is to be left alone. Under comms, we need up data link. We need the secondary S-band system. We need both VHF circuit breakers. And skipping CDR audio, which is open for now. Now we'll go to the signal strength display and close. And we can close the LGC diski. Under EPS, cross-tie bus, close. Ascent ECA, close. And the rest are good. We can come to the left side. Here we can see computer's up. We'll ignore it for now. Now, flight displays, both of these should be closed. Again, for the RCS, everything except your TCA breakers. So your 2 ascent feeds, your isolation valve, your cross-feed valve needs to be closed, your temperature pressure display flags, your propellant gate quantity gauging system and display circuit breaker, and your main shutoff valve. Under propellant, we need all 3 of these closed. Display engine override logic, propellant gauging or propellant quantity gauging system, and ascent helium regulator. Under lighting, track light needs to be closed, the rest should already be closed. Explosive devices will need logic B. Now under stabilization control, we'll get the engine arm, ATCA, the ATCA. We'll need ATCA eggs, and descent engine override. Under instrumentation, all of that is already closed. We'll need ECS, suit flow control closed as well. Next row, comms, display closed. We can see we've got our display now. And we'll also need the VHF circuit breakers closed. And the rest should be set. Under ECS, now, make sure that your suit fan 2 is closed, suit fan delta pressure, your diverter valve, and your CO2 sensor. Now under heaters, you'll close the 4 quad heaters, and the rest should be set up. Now under EPS, we'll just verify ascent ECA needs to be closed. And the rest should be, cross-tie balance loads we can now open. And the rest we'll leave as is. Talkback verification, so we'll cycle CWE to clear up some of these lights and some of these talkbacks that we should be no longer having. So open and close and silence the alarm. You can see lots of lights turned off. That's good. We'll have a click through on our temperature gauge real quick. We can see RCS is coming up to temperature very nicely. And we'll verify these talkbacks, these talkbacks, these talkbacks, and these talkbacks. They're all good here. And the last one you would need to check, the recorder, is also good. Now we are going to do the commander transfer. So we'll open our external MFD, go to Project Apollo, and take ECS crew to 2, and switch vehicles. So we're going to make a save here. And now we'll remove the CDR, and then switch back to the LEM. Ignore the uplink for now, we'll get to it. Pings, turn on, and self-test. So we are not in standby, so we're good there. From here, key verb 36, enter. That clears that light. Verb 21, noun 01, enter. 3000, enter. 2343, enter. Enter. 333, enter. 10000, enter. Now take circuit breaker pings, IMU operate right here to close, and we'll wait for the no attitude light. I am on the Spaceflight Discord. That is correct. No attitude light is out. Verb 35. Make sure all those lights work. That's good. Now key reset. Verb 37. Enter. 00. Enter. Now we need to check the counters. So verb 25. Noun 01. Enter. 1365. Enter. And now we'll just set these. Oh, we did 0365. That is my bad. Hold on. So verb 37. Enter. 00. Enter. Verb 25. Noun 01. Enter. 1365. Enter. Now we'll set the next 3 rows to the default value, so which is 0. So enter, 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 and that sets the default values. Yeah, no problem. It's my pleasure. I'm recording the LEM-Power procedures right now, and it will be uploaded at a later date for your reference. This is going to be a really long one, probably, but I'll split it into multiple parts, most likely. Verb 15. Noun 01. Enter. 1365. Enter. All 3 rows should be that 0, like we set it to. Verb 21. Noun 27. Enter. 10. Enter. That's going to start up these counters. And within 78 seconds, row 2 should be greater than row 3. Because we're on modern computers, which are fast, that is immediately true. I always like to wait for the next count just to verify, though. Now we can do verb 21, noun 27, enter, 0, enter. At this point, we can check our ECS stuff, and we're good here. Now we'll check the valves for the suit, so we'll go suit flow. Now, actuator override, that's this one right here. And the next one, actuator override. There we go. And we can see both are good. Pressure regulator A will now go to egress. And we'll activate suit fan number 2. We'll get an alarm. We can silence that, and the suit fan's going to immediately come up. Now CDR can get on to LM ECS, so we'll go suit flow on the commander. Now we'll close the CDR circuit breaker for the audio. And get S-band and intercom to transmit receive. Now we'll perform the suit fan water separator check. So we'll go suit fan number 2. The circuit breaker, that is. Circuit breaker ECS, suit fan number 2. We'll get the spin down, and we'll get the light. There we go. Now we will go on the other side and close suit fan number 1. We'll select water separator number 1 if it is not already selected. So push in for separator number 1. And we'll select suit fan number 1. Lights out. Get the nice sound. And we'll close suit fan number 2 on the ECS. Now we notify Manned Spaceflight Network that we're going to be performing our secondaries test for the comms. So this is our secondary S-band transmitter and power amplifier check. So, switch to our secondaries. We wait a minute for relock. We got relock. Good. Voice check. We're good there. And we'll go back to our primaries. I'll wait 60 seconds, but we don't need to. We'll continue with the rest of the checks. Now we'll do our S-band steerable antenna check. So make sure we come down to S-band. Look at that. Temperature is good. We could see SBD. Temperature is in the white here. So that's good. Take biomed telemetry to left. Bitrate will still be low. We'll see pitch and yaw are in their stow position. We can see we did just reacquire lock. And now track mode will go to slew. You can see that antenna's slewing around. And there it is right there. That's the steerable S-band. Now we'll go to 175 pitch and -5 yaw. Right there, that is good. S-band antenna to slew. And we can see we just need to maybe adjust this a little bit. Once we get above 2, we could take track mode to auto and see that it locks on nice and good. S-band ranging we'll take to CWE enable. We'll get the alarm. We'll turn the alarm off. And we'll go pulse code modulator bitrate to high. Now we'll do our glycol pump transfer test and emergency pump test. So here, we'll go instrument secondary, and we can see, we can hear the glycol pump spin down. Now we can take that circuit breaker closed. We can hear it spin up. We verify it's in the green, and that's good there. Open the circuit breaker. Go to pump 2. And now what we do is, yep, we're on pump 2. Good. Now we'll take the auto transfer circuit breaker. So we're gonna, let's take a look here. Open pump 2 like that. And we'll make sure we should hear it spin up again. I guess possibly not. That is okay. We can open auto transfer. We know that the auto transfer function doesn't work. So we'll select pump 1, and we'll just keep that in mind. But auto transfer is normally not used anyways, so it's not a huge deal. VHF-B checkout. So we'll go to voice and receiver on. VHF antenna select forward. So that's S-band. Forward. Relay mode off. And now we'll take B to T. B to TR. Oh, nope, sorry, wrong side. Everything is sort of duplicated in LM, so if you click something and it doesn't go through right away, try it on the other side. While that's happening, we'll do our erasable memory dump. So verb 74 gets our emem dump, and we perform voice check, and that's good. Now we will select voice on A, receiver on. B will go to data only. And now we'll select VHF-B. On the commander, we'll go receiver only, and A to transceive. Voice check, and that is good. LMP is now going to go back to the command module. So at this point, we'll go Systems Engineer Audio Open, Telemetry Biomed Off, and we'll open another MFD and go to the Apollo MFD and select the ECS, then crew, and type in number 1 for one person in the cabin, and that is the CDR only now at this point. Switch to the command module, Remember to save every so often. These switches can sometimes cause crashing, so just remember to save every once in a while. Adds the lunar module pilot. And now we can get our uplink. So verb 37, enter, 00, enter. Looks like I forgot to turn that off from last time. That's a-okay. We'll accept our uplink, and we'll also write down our P22 auto optics. So this is ID 130. T1 is 098 4114. That is going to be at the horizon. T2 is going to be 098 4616, and that's at the 35-degree mark. 09 nautical miles south. And our noun 89s are going to be latitude. We'll get plus 01.243. For the longitude over 2, we get plus 11.844. And for our altitude, we get minus 001.46. That's that pad. Uplink telemetry back to block. Verb 37, enter, 00, enter. And we'll get a CSM DAP pad coming in very shortly. Looks like we are about 9 minutes behind schedule. So we'll need to do a P52 IMU align preferred. Yeah, all this stuff got to happen pretty fast, so it's not entirely good to, be sat explaining, but that's okay. If we need to, we can go back to a save, do something faster. So we already know how to do all of these P52s and stuff, all of that shenanigans. So I'm just going to quick speed through this. And now, back to the LEM. We have officially caught up. I would say we've officially caught up at this point. So we'll just copy, this is the CSM DAP pad. So CSM DAP. This is plus 37970 plus 33773 minus 000.64 and plus 000.41. And from here, this is going to complete part 1 of the lunar module activation. The next steps are quite complicated, so we'll stop recording there and we'll start a new recording.